What up, guys? Jason Guyman here with PressureWashHelp.com. And tonight I want to talk about a house that you probably seen on the beginning picture. You know what, I might have screwed something up here, but that's all right. Of an $850 job. Now, I did not do that job. A person that's been pressure washing for 5 years didn't do that job. A person that started this year in 2020 did that job, $850, and it took him 3 hours. And I'm going to show you the equipment that he did it in. It's not some fancy dancy $25,000 trailer. It's not some fancy dancy $10,000 trailer. It's not a fancy dancy $5,000 trailer. He has about $2,000 in equipment, and he has about I think he has about probably about $1,000 truck. So I'm going to talk about this, and he's on here tonight, and so I just wanted to show you that we don't have to have all this fancy equipment. We don't have to be years in business to make this kind of money. It can be made, and it can be a way that we can grow our business and be successful. And at the end of the day, it's about getting our phone to ring and giving value, answering our phone, and we can be able to upsell. And again, this is talking about upselling. It's about talking about you don't have to have all this high dollar equipment, and you can be able to be successful and grow your business and change your life, literally. I think Kyle may have figured out who I'm talking about. I think Jason is in love with you. Hey, when you are somebody that is successful, and I will fall in love with you, Kyle, if you start doing 10K a month. I do think you will get there. I know you can get there. I know you can be successful at the end of the day. And that is why I like it. Again, Greg was one that emailed me in the very beginning. And don't hate. That's right. Don't hate. But Greg was one that emailed me way back in when, and I just came from the BBB with is a group of people that are pressure washers. They're kind of, they're making, I think the lowest guy there's probably around $150,000 a year. And so that is definitely something that I'm doing $6,000 to $7,000 weeks with paver sealing, and that is awesome. That is a great service that you will be able to be successful with, and all of that kind of stuff. So again, thank you for the super chat, Mr. Arkansas Soft Wash Kit. If you are looking for a soft wash kit, definitely hit him up on his website and all of that awesome stuff there. So let's go look at how we can upsell and we can make more money with this right here. So the picture I had on this video was done out of the back of a pickup truck. It has two 55-gallon drums. It's a 94, 96, and it can make money. A lot of times we think we got to have the best equipment. We have to have this. I can't go do this big job because I just have this here. And as long as you got a will, there's a way. He's got a 4-gallon-minute machine. I mean, I could do it with a pump-up sprayer at the end of the day. I can do it with a little spray bottle at the end of the day. It's about getting the soap onto the house. It's actually a 92, so it's actually worth less. Well, pretty soon it's going to be an antique in about 2 years, and you'll be able to get cheaper license tags on it. But again, I want to make it clear that there is a way that we can make $850. We can make $1,000. We can make $1,200. We can make $3,000 a day out of the back of a pickup truck. Out of the back of a pickup truck. This stupid mirror thing, I'm gonna have to take it off here again because it's driving me. I'm pointing. Let's see. Out of the back of a pickup truck. So That is what I want. And this is exactly right. It's the attitude and the confidence. And that's what I want you all to understand. It isn't about the shiny equipment, it isn't about that at the end of the day. What it really comes down to being about is answering your phone, putting out marketing stuff to that way your phone will ring. Once your phone starts to ring, that you answer your phone, and then just giving great customer service. Because you know what happens when we give great customer service? Then we can get 5-star reviews, and when we get 5-star reviews, then that helps our Google My Business, and it's just a vicious cycle that happens over and over and over. Jason, Reggie here in Raleigh. I'm pretty confident I'll 10x my investment from your training by the end of November. Take action. So Reggie was a guy that took my class in Raleigh, North Carolina, and that's awesome because some people, by the time you take my class, and if you don't live close, he lives close enough, but if you don't live, you have to get your flight down there or drive down there and, stay at a hotel and all that. And, I always say anytime I take training, anytime, it doesn't matter if I do it in online training, if I go somewhere to do training. I just came from the BBB, and it probably cost me $1,000 time. I pay for my hotel and all that kind of stuff. I want to be able to do 10,000. I want to 10x whatever I invest in myself. And if I can invest in myself and I can 10x it, it's worth it no matter how much it is. I don't care if it's a $50,000 training. Guess what? Because if I know I can 10x that training, 50,000 times 10x is 500,000? No. Yeah. So I want to make sure that whatever I do, I want to be able to 10x it. So, if I put $1,000 in training, I'm going to get 10,000 out of it. And that is what I want to do. And that is the reason why I do that for. In a lot of people get into this mindset of, well, I would never pay for training. You can go on YouTube and do it. You're right. You're daggone right. You can't go on YouTube. You can find anything. You can go on this channel here, and you probably can find everything you need to know to be a successful business at the end of the day. But this is what I'm going to tell you. When you don't pay, usually you don't listen. When you pay and it hurts to pay, guess what? You listen. And so that is why I do what I do, because I want, at the end of the day, I want you all to be successful at the end of the day. So again, this is a job that we can make $1,000 a day, $1,500 a day, every day. So I was actually headed down to the BBB on Tuesday, and I stopped at, there's this great place that we have in northern Kentucky in the greater Cincinnati. It's called United Dairy Farmers. And I wasn't going to stop. Oh, I had to get gas. No, I didn't have to get gas. I don't know why I stopped in there. I know why I did. I did have to get gas. I had to get gas, and I had to use the bathroom before I got on the road. And I pulled in, and there was a pressure washing trailer there. A guy I'd never seen, a guy I never met, and I'm so I know that probably most people in the pressure washing world has heard this voice at least once, right? I mean, most people. I got enough videos out there of how to do pressure washing. Most people have heard this voice. So I see him getting gas, and so I go over and I'm like, I need me a house wash. And the dude just heard my voice. He's like, he knew who I was. He knew he had heard that voice, but he didn't know who I was exactly. And so I started talking, and he's like, I know you, you're from YouTube. And I'm like, yep, I'm from YouTube. So I sat there and I talked to him for about 30, 40 minutes. And it was a great story. And I'm going to try to get him on here on a Sunday night. But again, this is his story. So in COVID hit, and they wanted to start their own business. They're two pilots. They both fly for, I believe it's United Air or American, and they both are pilots. And they live just outside of Cincinnati. They live in Park Hills. Their signs are the ones that I was talking about in a video a couple days ago that I put out on my video, and I was my sign video I put out. I think it's out. Either it's out or it's coming out. And so I talked to him, and so there are two pilots right now. They didn't really get started till June. By the time they got their equipment all up and running and everything, so they got started in June. So from June to now, they've made $60,000. They've done $60,000 worth of work. That's right, $60,000. And you're right, they are balling. But they also don't know if they're going back to work either. They don't know if they're going to get furloughed or any of that kind of stuff. And here's the thing about that, talking about them balling. If you balling and you not smart with your money, you're just broke just like everybody else is. You're just got higher debt than I do at the end of the day. If you're not smart with your money, it don't matter how much you make. It don't matter if you make $30,000 or $130,000. You just got more expensive habits and you don't know how to manage your money, and you're going to be broke at the end of the day. And when you get laid off from that high dollar airplane job, then you're really screwed, because you just got a lot more debt that you got to either try to figure out how to get rid of it, or furlough it, or whatever you can do to make that happen. So just because we are making more money doesn't mean we are going to be better off, because I guarantee you where they live at is not a cheap place to live, period. And on top of it, they got their salary cut, I believe, in close to half. Now, I understand that a pilot makes a lot of money. I understand that 100%. I got my wife's cousin's husband is a pilot, and he's bringing in 200, 250. Okay, so if you're used to bringing in 200, 250, and it gets cut in half, guess what? That's not no easy pill to swallow. I don't care who you are. If I go living like this and it cuts me in half, and if I've been balling on this and I've been buying a bunch of vehicles and I got a bunch of loans and I got a bunch of everything else, you know what? It's going to be hard for you to keep it going. So, but the other thing I wanted to say on that is they did $60,000 in June, July, August, September, October. That's pretty freaking awesome. $60,000 in 5 months. And so they had no website, they had nothing. They went, guess how they made that money? Mostly through signs, 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 signs. Like I say, signs work. Signs do a great thing, and we can make a lot of money off signs alone. So, with that said, you know, that is why we want to put them out. Not only did the signs get them work, once they were able to get work, they have a great Google My Business listing in an area that is right outside of Cincinnati. It's right in a high dollar area in northern Kentucky, and they were able to get reviews for their Google My Business. They were able to get pictures from getting them the signs up there, and now they are doing very well. Next year, that could be a $150,000-$200,000 company, maybe even more if they wanted to push it even higher. Um, let's see here. We got all kind of questions. Awesome, awesome, blossom. That is awesome. I did my first over $1,000 day this past weekend. Small potatoes for some, but it was a level I've been excited to hit to prove that it's possible. The group pages and your channel and Bobby, Ray, and Cody. And that is what I'm talking about. Go celebrate that, celebrate your wins, and keep it going, dude. I'm telling you, it can be done. And so that is awesome blossom right there. All super helpful. Celebrate the wins, brother. $100 or $1,000 days is a good money no matter who you are. I started with a 2.7 pressure washer and a 55-gallon SH tank. after watching Jason's video, gave me the confidence to get out and make that money. Thank you, sir. Thank you for listening and taking action. Because at the end of the day, you all have to take action. I can sit here and be your cheerleader all day long, but if you don't take action, it does no matter what I say, is never going to be able to get to you to where you need to be at. You have to take action. If you take action, things will happen. That is a guarantee. So, again, you have to take action, but if you take action, you will be able to get to the next level. You will be able to, grow. You'll be able to get freedom of, you'll be able to get financial freedom. You'll be able to get time freedom, everything. Um, did the Raleigh pressure washing with a training come with a certificate? If so, I haven't received one. You have not received one because my wife is in charge of that, and it will come. It might take a little bit of time. I'm just saying. I can only push her so much, and she pushes back on me. We got two kids, and I've been gone for the last 2 days, 3 days, and so that's why it hasn't come. It will come, but it is coming. I want to be a baller. Shot call of 20 M blades on the Impala. What type of haircut this is? It's starting to be a bald cut right here. No, it's just high and tight, kind of, and I just leave this longer at the tops to cover up my bald spots. Here is your sign. You can get your sign at pressurewashhelp.com/get signs. Got a question. Seriously thinking about going gas powered with a comment. What is your thought? Um, they're good. You have problems with them too. Um, I just, I had one. I went back to 12 volt, especially when you have employees. It's just easier with the 12 volt. You do have to have a line going back into your tank. And when you go back into the tank, you want to make sure that line goes all the way to the bottom of the tank, because like I had it in my surfactant tank. My soap and surfactant is the same tank. And so when I had it at the top, it was pouring down in there, making lots of bubbles. And that wasn't a good thing. So I had to push that line all the way down to the bottom so it would not get in there. Where to get signs? pressurewashhelp.com/get signs. You will buy me a cup of coffee and it doesn't cost you any extra. And this is one of the cheapest places you're going to find signs. It comes with signs, the stakes, the whole 9 yards. This year, after watching you guys, I finally upped my minimum to 300 and shoot for $300 an hour. My average ticket went from $175 to $500. That was a scary jump, but I see the benefit it already. Doug, that is awesome. That is and I understand that's probably a very hard thing for you to do that. And I understand that. But it goes back to, we get our average ticket up, we do less jobs and make more money. And that is the beautiful thing. And again, you are going to close less jobs, but you are going to make either the same amount of money or more money. And I have my little thing that I show a lot of times of how that works and why that works. And that is the beautiful thing of raising your price. And when we shoot for $300 an hour, I mean, it took me 10 years to do it. Oh my, Doug. Where are you located at, Doug? Um, where you located at. But, and that is an amazing thing, because by us doing that, again, our close rate can go way down, but we're going to make the same amount of money. I'll pull that up here because I want to show that, because Also, when we do packages, that is how we can get an $850 job, a $1,000 job, a $2,000 job, by doing packages. Springfield, Missouri. And so by us raising our prices, I'm going to show you here. Um, and I know I've showed this, but I want to show it again because it is very important. I don't think there's anything else on there that don't matter. All right. So if we do 75, if we get 100 calls, so we're going to keep this simple. If we get 100 calls and we close 75 jobs, that is a 75% close rate. And our average job is $300. Our average job is $300. If we do 75 jobs at $300 is our average ticket, that's 22,500. That's a close rate of 75. Now, if we only close rate at 50%, we got 100 phone calls, we close 50%. That's an average job, and we only raise our average just only $150. So now our average ticket is $450. We make the exact same amount of money for doing 25 jobs less. 25 jobs less and make 22,000. So we go on the big scale. We get on the big kahuna scale. If we get a thousand leads and we're at 75%, so we close 750 jobs at an average ticket of $300, we will make $225,000. Now, if we are only our close rate, if we get 1,000 leads and our close rate is only 50%, we do 500 jobs. Again, that average ticket of only $150, $150 more, we will do $225,000, and we did 250 less jobs. What does that mean when we do 250 less jobs? That means we did not have to go to 250 extra houses to make the exact same money. Rather, I am just by raising it $150 per job. Now, how do we do that? Great question. But I want to talk about one other thing before I get there. How much more money did I make? Okay, so if this is a 75% close rate, this is the 50% close rate because we're $150 per job higher. How much more money and profit am I here versus here? A whole freaking ton, because I didn't have to do 250 house washes. I didn't have to do them. I only had to do 500 and I was done. You know, and we can break that down. So let's break that down a little bit. How can we do that? So I got to use a calculator because I'm not that smart on math. So if we do 500 houses and we divide that by 10, okay, let's do this because that not everybody can work that much. 500 houses and we divide that by 8 months. That's 62 houses a month. 62 houses a month. And we divide that by 4 weeks. So we need to do 15 houses, 15 houses, 15 houses per week at an average ticket of $450. Now, you might say, there's no way. That's not that hard to do because we divide that by 5. And guess what? We're at 3. If we can do 3 house washes a day at an average of $450, that is $225,000 in 8 months. That means you can go fishing in Florida for the other 4 months if you want to. You can do whatever you freaking want. But it's all about getting our average ticket up So then that way we can make that happen. Now, what does that mean by getting our average ticket up? That means that we're not going to close as many jobs. That's what that means. We're not going to close as many jobs. But I don't need to close as many jobs. So let's do it the other way. So if I got to do 700, if I'm at the $300 mark, and I got to do 750 jobs because that's how many I do, and I divide that by 8, that means I got to do, is that right? 750 divided by 8. Nope, 750. I said I wasn't good at math. Divided by 8 months equals 93 jobs. Divide that by 4 weeks. That means I got to do 23 jobs. Divide that by 5. That means I got to do 4.6. So let's just say we got to do 5 jobs a day at an average of $300 versus 3 jobs a day at $450. So again, when your close rate is way high, you need to raise your prices. If you're at 70, 80, 60%, if you're at 65% and higher, raise your prices. Get more leads and raise more prices. And you know what happens when you raise your prices? Yes, you're going to have to do, but that means you're going to be able to make more money to spend on marketing to be able to get more leads. And when we get more leads, guess what? It's math. It's all about the math. Yes, look how much labor and chem costs saved you at 250. So that's a great thing. Let's just say an average of let's just go an average of an hour per house wash. It's probably going to be a little bit higher than that average house wash. So that's 250 hours you saved by not having to go wash 250 houses. And that is the beauty of raising our prices and getting more money. And how do we do our raising our prices? We do it by first raising our minimum. We get it off that $200 mark and we get it up to the $300 mark. Second thing we do is we do packages. Packages, packages, packages. We don't just when, ma'am, I need a house wash. Okay, here's your $300 house wash. No, when we do that, we leaving money on the table. We're just like, here, just take, I don't want your money. No, we're going to say, hey, ma'am, did you know I do exterior window cleaning? And I use Responsibid. Responsibid is in down here, and it will automatically do it. But I can say, hey, you know, I do the house wash. I do exterior window cleaning. That's another $150. I do the driveway and sidewalk. That's another $300. Now, when this woman called me for a house wash of a $300 house wash, I just sold them an $800, $900 package. And that is how we get our average ticket up and we make more money. And guess what? Guess what happens when we make more money? We can do less work, or we can hire employees. We can, we can hire employees and grow a business. All those beautiful things when we do that. All right. Who is the busiest company in the Cincinnati area or best ran you have seen in Cincinnati? I'm going to say best ran and most profitable is probably Mr. Wash, would be my guess. But there is, I mean, Pro Wash is pretty profitable at the end of the day. He has less employees. So I don't know. There's several. Hey, Jason, total revenue for October is over 10,700. Revenue, not sales. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And a lot of times it's the little things that get us there. When we are slow or when we are first starting, we gotta we're building a business brick by brick. This wall didn't just get up there. Actually, it did, but this wall got built brick by brick. We just didn't throw a bunch of bricks and all of a sudden we had this magical wall. And you can see sometimes when we do that, we'll have crap over here where we threw crap up and we get crap back, or it looks like crap. So, we have to be successful out there and make sure that we are growing a business, we're being successful, we're getting to the next level, we're putting out packages, because when we put packages out, we make more money. And when we make more money, it's just a beautiful thing at the end of the day. Beautiful, beautifully said. If you never get off the couch, nothing will happen. That is so true. We can sit on the couch all day and wish for stuff. And guess what? Nothing happens. I'm going to tell you, nothing happens. We can sit there and wish all we want, nothing happens. And again, there's two ways to get customers. One is go do a lot of work figuring it out, learn it all, and try to do it that way. That's going to be a lot slower, or you open your wallet. Those are your two ways you can do it. Now, one way you can do it is get off your butt and go put out signs. It's not too hard to go here to get signs and get our signs and go put them out. But if we go buy our signs and we put them in the garage and we never put the stakes in them and we never go put them out, they're not going to work. I'm sorry, but they're not going to work. I'm just saying. They're not going to work if we don't put them out in where we need to put them at. Jason, I tell all the people that, Jason, I tell all the people that tell me they cannot believe I'm doing it, that you are one of my mentors. Thank you. Hey, I love helping people be successful. I've figured out how to be successful, and I want you all to be successful too. And at the end of the day, it's a couple of things. First off, it's taking action and doing it. And two, when you're afraid and you're got fear and you're like, well, I don't know if I can do it. I'm going to tell you one thing: get away from negative people. If you're around negative people, get away from them, because when you're around negative people, you're going to become negative. That is a guarantee. If you're around 5 people and you're the top person of those 5 people, guess what? You're not going nowhere. You're going to struggle like a son of a gun to get out of there. You know where you want to be at on the top, or the 5 people you're around? You want to be at the bottom. You want to be around successful people that can help grow your business, help put stuff into your life, say things into your life, show you things, and you will grow your business and be successful at the end of the day. I will be out at 4 a.m. doing signs tomorrow on a big commercial bid. We are still amazed we have come so far. If you never make another dime, it has changed our life. And the beautiful thing about this was Mr. Jason was one of the ones that was, how do you make money down here in Florida? By raising your prices. You know, your average prices might not be as high as everybody else, but you know what? There's money to be made. You just got to go find those customers that will be willing to do it. And again, Doug got me going down that trail of of raising our prices from Springfield, Missouri. Higher tickets, less job. It's science. It's math. It's math. It's really, any of this stuff is math. If we know our numbers, we can figure out a lot of things. If we know our numbers, we can, if I know that it takes 2 phone calls to get one lead and I close 50% of the leads, then that means I need 4 phone calls to get a job, right? So if I know I need 4 phone calls, what do I got to do to get 4 phone calls to get one job? Well, maybe I need to go out and put out 100 signs will give me 50 phone calls. So then that means I need to go put out 1,000 signs. So that way I can get that phone number. Or I'm paying AdWords and I spend this much and it's going to give me this many phone calls. Well, if I increase my number, it's going to give me more phone calls, which means I'm going to get more jobs, and it's all about math at the end of the day. Lower prices, more complaints, higher prices, less complaints, same work, quality, weird. Absolutely. You know, the ones that probably are going to give you the biggest headache are the lowest price jobs. And that's a guaranteed. I don't know why it is, but it is. The people that pay the least amount of money are going to give you the most headache at the end of the day. It was always a side hustle pushing for full time now. Awesome. And, you know, a lot of times people start off as a side hustle and they think, well, I don't need to charge that much. I'm just doing it for this. Yeah, charge. Why not charge it? If I'm going to work on a Saturday, why only make $200 when I can make $300 or $500, $1,000? You know, if I'm going to be away from my family, that's a whole nother story. Mr. Dan's Vlogs here. He's really not Dan's Vlog, but it's Dan. Dan the Fish Man, from Cleveland, Ohio. Great information. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, sir. Jason dropping the bomb. Got a job tomorrow cleaning flagstone using MD80. Any tips? It's new construction and was planning on X-jetting the chemical. I have used it before on brick, never on stone around a pool. Yeah, I mean, that's how you apply it. So 4 to 1. Um, I've only used it a couple times, and it works. I shoot for 450, and been getting it. That's the thing, you know, and that's what, who was it telling me? I think it was somebody on here. I don't remember, but no, it was on my Sunday night lives, on one of my Sunday night Zoom calls, and he was like, "Man, you know what, Jason? You told me to write my goals down, and you know, when I wrote those goals down, I hit those goals. It's like, yeah, you do hit those goals. You know, you guys need to be making goals so that you can shoot for those goals and make those goals. Because if we don't ever make goals, we have nothing to shoot for. You know, it's like taking a gun and just aiming out there. Well, I think I'm going to hit something. Or if I put a target out there, then I can point my gun at the target and I can shoot at the target. Now, does that mean we're going to hit the target every time? Nope, because you might be half blind, you might be got the Tourette, you know, you might shake, you might breathe different and move it. But if I never have nothing to point at it, I'm not even going to hit the paper. If I'm just going to sit here and just be like, I'm going to just pull the trigger, then there's no target and we're never going to get to where we need to be at. And so that is why goals are very important. You going to bed? Good night, sweet pea. So, and I worked 10-hour days. Had great success this year with my closing rate with paver ceiling. At least, yes, like some that you might need to raise your prices on that one even some more. I thought about doing ceiling, done brick ceiling before. Is it similar? Brick paver or paver ceiling is not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Jason helped me change my game when it comes to marketing, sales, and pressure washing and knowledge. Um, Fishing. Honestly, Jason, doing a house wash has become probably my least favorite thing, and I almost never do them anymore. Hey, and that's all right. You know, if you can get a niche of just doing the paver sealers, you know, I know a lot of people, you got enough in Florida that there's enough money down there that you can make a ton of money. I know 2 or 3 guys down there that make millions down there, and that's all they do is paver sealing. Might want to look at how much labor and chems cost you, or the cost savings of doing 250 jobs less. Absolutely, exactly. 85% more profit and do less work. Did a 1-car driveway yesterday, maybe 6,600 square feet, $1,000, and you probably had $150 in cost, maybe 200. not for paver sealing. Um, the customers we target plays big part in getting higher ticket, and hey, that's a good point, Greg. When we shoot for higher end tickets, guess what? We're going to go for that. You know, if we're shooting for the ducks over in the poor neighborhoods, that's not going to be where we want. We want to shoot for where the rich people are. We want to go in the higher end. We want to shoot for houses that are 300, 500,000. We don't want to shoot at the houses that are 100,000. Yeah, they're going to make us money, but these are going to really make us money. Ask customers what is their concerns. Ma'am, that's a different service, but while I am here, we can do that. Let me adjust the quote. And that's one thing, that reason why I like giving package offers is hopefully I'm going to hit a lot of that kind of stuff. Obviously, if they have a deck, I'm not going to be able to hit that without being there knowing it. Quality ain't cheap. I thought 1,000 just to watch. Mr. Woody, how you doing? I'm trying to get through some of these questions. Don't take no for an answer. Oh, you already had your house cleaned this year? How about I go ahead and get you on the spring schedule for 10% off booking in advance and get in front of line? I'm going to shoot for 500,000 plus to do the work. I put 100-yard signs out last week and turned over $6,300. So, guess what? Put another 100-yard signs out a week. Is that going to happen every week? I don't know. Maybe not. If I can turn half that every week, $3,000 a week, I'd be $4,000 a week. That's better than nothing. What did I say we needed at $225,000? How much was that a month? $225,000 divided by divided by 8 equals 28,000 divided by 4 equals 7,000 divided by 5. So we need $1,400 days to get to that 225,000 in 8 days, or in 8 months. What up? Shout out to Faz Pressure Washing. Just take the leap of faith. Trying to get down. You have to learn to walk before you can run. It's part of a package. Packages are a beautiful thing. Packages, packages, packages. If you want to check out Responsibid, go check out Responsibid. I did use Responsibid for my business. That was one thing in 2014-ish, what was the first thing that really turned my business to the next level. Again, you can go to right down here. It's pressurewashhelp.com/Responsibid. There's 2 links in there for the same thing. And what it is it's not so much the bidding part of it, of getting that fast quote today. It's more about the email marketing behind the system. It's about the packages, because it's going to give them 3 different packages, and it's about the email sequence behind it. You can set it up with text, voicemail bombs, all that awesome stuff right out of Responsibid. So you can set all that stuff up, and then it will just smoothly go right out there and keep following up, because following up is key at the end of the day. Following up is one thing that will help you out a lot. Definitely a lot. Wife says the Saturday minimum rate is 1,000, single job only now, no problem. Yep. There ain't no use working on weekends. Even if you start getting booked out farther, just start raising your prices. You get out 2-3 weeks, raise your prices. And you can always lower them if you start slowing down. I try offering packages to do concrete as well. I should start doing roofs. People around me don't seem to know about that. And if they don't know about it, then that means you got to educate them about it. Don't think that just because you offer it and nobody else does, that it's just going to automatically, people are going to buy it, because that is not the case at all. That is the farthest from the truth. You got to educate people knowing that they can have that done and all of that. I'm starting with the basic equipment. I'm using customer water. Yep, everybody's going to use customer water, Corey. Goal for 2021 is $120,000, and I think you can do more than that. What's everybody else's goal? What is your goal? Put your goal down in here. What's your goal for 2020? What's your goal? Put it down in here for 2020. That way I can hold you accountable next year to make sure that you're going to do that. So go down there and put your goal down in the thing for 2021. I want to hear what your goal is, because this will also let me this way in the future. If you got a goal, I want you to. I not only want you to put it up here, I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. I want you to write it on a piece of paper so that you know that you set this goal. And that way you have set the target up at least. And now we're going to shoot for it. And what I want you to do is I want you to write it on a piece of paper. And the reason why I want you to write it on a piece of paper is because I know that it will help you be able to obtain that goal. If you don't write it down, if you just put it here, it's just a number at that point. I want you to write it down, put it somewhere where you can see it every day of that's my goal. And what that will help you do is that will help you get your butt off the couch and help motivate you. Help motivate you, and it will help you get going in the right way. That's right. Raise those prices for the industry. For us starters, for the little guys, you all and the ones up at the top are the only ones that can do that. And what? That's right. Raise those prices for the industry. For us starters, for the little guys, you and the ones up at the top are the only ones that can do that. And I disagree wholeheartedly on that. That is not a true statement. The little guy starting out can start with higher end prices right out of the get go. Because again, if we start out with a little price, we'll be like, well, next year we'll raise our prices. Next week I'm going to raise my prices. And next year never comes. It will never come. If you don't raise your prices, even as a little guy, and I understand that, you know, I understand you're not going to close jobs, but here's what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. So if you're at a 50% close rate, you got to remember that you got to get 5 no's to get 5 yeses. So if you get that phone to ring 10 times, that means you're going to get 5 rejections right out of the get go. And they're probably going to be the first 5 of making me say, well, that was too high. Jason don't know what he's talking about. I'm telling you, I had it happen with another guy on Christmas lights. It's only a 20%. So out of 10 calls, you get 2 jobs. That means you get 8 no's. Well, he was on 5 no's right out of the get go. And then guess what happened? He had 3 yeses right in a row. And so you gotta get out of that mindset of only the big guys can do it. Who is a great chemical supplier, good chemical supplier for SH in the greater Cincinnati area? Mr. Indiana Power Clean. Miami. I don't know. They don't ship it down to where you probably are. There is a couple of places up in Cincinnati, on the north side of Cincinnati, up in Sharonville. I don't know if there's anybody in the Lawrenceburg area or anything. There might be. Look up. I know there's a place in Fairfield, which is a little bit closer. $199 in my town. Sorry. Still, though, my ROI is worth it in my area. As 15-year-old, would you recommend me walking into a business like a gas station and trying to get jobs with maybe some EBC and a lot of washing? I would not. Unless you want to do that, that's not where I would be at. I would try to be doing houses. I would be looking at, because with gas stations and stuff like that, you really, really, really need hot water. Because if they got gum, just because they got oil even oil removal, yeah, EBC does okay. But if you're doing a lot of that, you're gonna be struggling to get that stuff up. Unless you got hot water, then that will help bring it up. And then gum, you cannot get gum up with a cold water machine. Period. People used to charge 600 to 700 around me for house wash. It dropped down to 250, 300. It's back up, but there's always add-ons like concrete deck cleaning. I honestly don't want to raise the prices. It's one of those things that I don't mind being a little cheaper and closing more jobs. We aren't taking the 200 or 300. We're talking 1,000. Hey, get that 1,000 to 2,000, 1,000 to 1,500. That's what it's about. Especially if you want to grow and scale and not be a one-man band. Skilled labor ain't cheap. Cheap labor ain't skilled. Um, I'm in the high rent district of Nashville. It's booming here. Thanks for your input. Also, I'm headed to Cincinnati for Turkey Day. What the hell is there to do? Not much. Nothing like Nashville. I was just in Nashville the other day. I just came home from there. Thank you for the $5. This was the best ROI on yard signs so far. What do you guys use for yard signs? PressureWashHelp.com/get signs. One big service, one big phone number. That's it. Don't put a bunch of different services on there. Don't put a bunch of other crap on there. House washing, pressure washing, phone number. That's it. That's all you need on there. Responsibid is the bomb. Now, I'm going to say one thing about it is the bomb. I love Responsibid, but it's not easy to set up. So if you think it's just a set up, hurry up and play, it is not. It does take some time to figure it out and all that. What up, Mr. Al? I know you sent me a bunch of messages, but I've been in Nashville for the last couple days, so I was learning lots of stuff, how to become, how to help you all become more successful. Because I like doing that. So we got $150,000 from Jason. He wants to do $150,000 next year in Florida, and I believe you can do that. Greg Townsend wants to do $120,000 profit, so he's wanting to do $150,000 next year. Have $30,000 in cost and $120,000 in profit. I think you can definitely do that. Jason, you coming to Jersey for some training? I don't know yet. I know I've gotten asked a couple times. I may have to find somebody up in that area to see if I can do some training with. If there's anybody that wants to hold a location up there, let me know. I don't remember what that is, but email me. 100,000 for 2021. 150. That's my goal, Trump 2020. 75,000 from Indiana Clean. I think you can do more than that. Where you're getting started already this year, and if you put some money in signs and AdWords and stuff, I believe you can do that no problem. You should be able to do $100,000 next year. I really do believe that. $100,000 for Dan's vlogs, Dan the Fish Man, Reggie Bryce, 100 to 200. You're gonna steal some of Donovan's money down there. 100,000, 80,000, 80% tax bracket. Just because, so this is going to be a little business 101. So a lot of people think that when you own a business, and I say these numbers, that you're going to have to pay 20% tax, 30% tax. No, you don't. There's these things that's called deductions, that this right here is a deduction that I don't pay taxes on that. My Jeep out here is a deduction. I don't pay tax on that. All my gas is a deduction. I don't pay tax on that. It's called having a good CPA. A good CPA, and you will be lucky to pay 10% of that. Um, and if you have a really good CPA, you might even pay less than that. So, you know, people that think that, oh, you're gonna pay, and even I had it on one of my other ones, 120,000, and he brings home 100,000. No, he got paid 20, 30,000 in tax. No, you don't. I pay. I make more money now as a what I do here than I did at the firehouse, and I pay less taxes than what I paid at the firehouse because it's called a business. It's called a CPA, and a good CPA will keep you out of jail. So you got to be at a good CPA. In that way, it's all legal. You know, there's tons of loopholes out there for the business owners. You know, if you're paying 20, 30% tax, you need to fire your CPA and get you a new CPA. A good CPA will save you thousands of dollars. They can save you tens of thousands of dollars. A good CPA is. And if you have made some decent money this year, this is a tip that will be very helpful for you. If you've made some good money this year, go see your CPA now. Go see him before the end of the year, because what you can do is called tax planning. He's going to say, "All right, if you buy nothing, you're going to spend this much money in taxes." Or you can go there and you can maybe, instead of paying $10,000, you can put, I believe it's 10% into a retirement for you. So instead of paying, so let's go easy math. Instead of, if I'm at $100,000, I can take $10,000 and I can put it in retirement for me. And guess what? That $10,000, I don't pay shit on it. I don't pay no taxes, no nothing. That goes into a different area and it's done. Shooting for 150. Is this real? You are pressure washing? Heck yeah, we are, dude. Heck yeah. My goal is to make enough money to try and buy land to start building an RV park. So that way you can park your car in there. um, I'm just now putting in my homework in the past couple weeks, seeing if this business is something I can invest my little savings into that could, for me, be successful. Yeah. 2021, $100,000 in sales, $75,000 in profit. And again, that doesn't mean you're making $75,000 in profit. That just means you're making that, after all your deductions and all that good stuff. 100,000 and quit my 32-year full-time job and go full-time by June. What, I don't know if you're still on here or not, Doug, but what is your full-time job right now? 150,000 and a second sweatshirt. I can do a second sweatshirt if you do that. YouTube will not let me do super chat. Just keep saying Apple payment failed. Next year goal is $150,000. Realistic, it's $2,900 a week. If you just ask 100 girls to sleep with you, one of them will say yes. Maybe two or three, depending on where you're asking them at. What girls? We used to have a guy at the firehouse. He wasn't the most. I can't say too much about what it is, but he always says, "You turn enough rocks over, you'll get some." Will not make it. A person hit my trailer this week and have no insurance, but next year I will make my goals. Well, that sucks, dude. My first month I did 2,000. This is my 6th month and I'll do $7,000. Word of mouth, Google my business, and yard signs. That's awesome H2O improvements. Wild West. Once they see the shaggin' wagon, they're going to be 100%. Boom. Stick up. Get in the group, man. Jason, where do you recommend putting signs? Busy intersections or neighborhood entrances? I do both. I like the busy intersections better, the main roads around stores, roads around Target. Put them out on Friday. They're probably going to get pulled by Monday, or they'll get pulled Monday or Tuesday. They should last a little bit. Um, you know, I'd rather stick them in the yard versus, or obviously I'm gonna stick them in the person's yard too, but I like the busy intersections. Out of the subdivision, if the subdivision has 100 people pulling out of it, or an intersection that's got 10,000 people driving past it, I'm going to shoot for the 10,000 people. Who do you use for tax purposes? I do it myself, but it's a mess. I use a CPA. I use a CPA. And if you do over 100, 150, I'll let you know who my CPA is. I don't want him involved. He does a lot of the higher end stuff. Don't put painting on your signs unless you hate money. Jimmy, put them everywhere. High traffic. All good, brother. Starting out, I want to do 75,000. You can do it, man. I want you to put it on a piece of paper and let me know next year if you're going to hit it. I'm in PA, so I'm not far from Jersey, just over the bridge. I would be interested for some training. I do have a training coming up in January 4th. It is in Orlando, Florida. It will be with Bobby Walker. It's me and him. This class will be limited to, I believe it's going to be 10 or 15 people. It's not a big like washathon. This is more of the hands-on stuff. You will get hands-on training. You will get to touch it. You get to learn everything. You will get to learn all the marketing and all that kind of stuff too. But this is more of the hands-on class. It is going to be, actually it's January 3rd. It's the Sunday. I didn't do the second on that Saturday. It will be that third on the January 3rd. And if you go to pressurewashhelp.com/in-person training, you can find out more information about it. But again, it will be, and then moving further past that, I will be putting my trainings up. I'm trying to do one a month next year, and I'm going to try to do some on the East Coast. I'd like to do some on the West Coast too. So if there's anybody on the West Coast that is Seattle, up that area, that I can borrow a trailer for a day, and you need some training, I will definitely make that happen. I mean, worried about the elections. There's not, that's not thing we can only control by what we vote. So go vote. Other than that, that's all you can control at the end of the day. Oh yeah, going network with Donovan. A good CPA to us is worth every penny. Literally every penny. Thank you. Guys really think $1 million companies are paying 80% taxes. They ain't paying crap in taxes. You pay taxes when you pull out the savings. Dan, what part of Cleveland are you located? He's located, oh, here he's saying. Oh, no, he didn't. He is located on the east side. East side. East side. At my old job, I was making 45,000. Now, starting this pressure washing, I wish I could make at least 60. Getting knowledge is my focus. You can absolutely do that, Corey, 100%. West side suburbs is my target market. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's on the west side. I forgot. He's not on the east side. He's on the west side. East side is toward New York way. I'm located on the Florida Georgia line. There's a song about that. So the weather has been working in my favor this late in the year. Yeah, you're in a place you can work all year long. 100% can work all year long. Where are you, Joan? What's the name of your company? Was in maintenance for 20 years at the hospital. Now I'm just in IT just these last few years. I'm just down the street from you, and so you two live real close to each other then, because you both live in the same city. Thank you, Jason, for all the information. Man, you've been helping me a lot. Been doing industrial services, hydroblasting for a while, but I'm now thinking to do pressure washing on my own. Thank you. Hey, there's a lot of money in that hydroblasting too. A lot of money. How much you think I should invest to start getting customer wise? Everything you can, as much as you can. I would if you're going to buy a $20,000 rig or versus put $20,000 in marketing, I'm going to tell you put $20,000 in marketing. Don't a rig is only so much. If you can't get jobs, it don't matter what kind of rig you got. The rig is not going to make you money at the end of the day. The rig can make you faster, but the rig is not going to get those customers calling you in the beginning. What is your opinion on graffiti removal? There's a couple of different things. Um, let's see. What is there? Taganator, elephant snot. Those are two. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, so we have a lot here, and you have a lot of competition there, but there's still a lot of money there. There's a guy I talked to this week, Wesley. He's a 25-year-old kid. He started his business 6 years ago at the young old age of 19, and he's going to do $1 million this year. Next year, and the thing that's beautiful about him, he's got a very little portion of Georgia. He ain't even that big everywhere else, and so he's going to do $1 million this year. Like in 2 weeks, he'll hit $1 million already this year, and so there's money definitely there. He don't do Christmas lights. That's strictly pressure washer, gutted cleaning, and that kind of stuff. Signs. Can you afford the cars driving by? If no, drop a few signs and follow them to where they shop. Drop more. That's awesome. I've seen your sign. I'm shooting for 60 in 2021. I have another part-time job doing boats. How do you make $800 in 3 hours? By doing a house wash. That picture there is a house wash, $300 or $800. 60K and I can leave my slave job. Beth, you're shooting too low. Beth is a good, godly woman. She's good. I have other work to do running my nonprofit and selling boats. She's got to get them big boats. Then you only need pressure wash. I get nervous where I put my signs up. I don't want a call from the popo. Well, it happens. Usually you're not going to get a call from the police. Usually you're going to get a call from the city. I'm curious. I'm using Facebook ads, but it seems that it's not working well. Getting any customers. Yeah, I never had luck with Facebook. Jason, I'm really debating the 750 just to meet you. It's only 45 minutes. You'll learn something, I'm sure. Bobby's going to be there too teaching, so he's got some pretty cool stuff that he'll be giving it. I had a great success last week. My rig was working, and I did a house, driveway, and fence washing. I quoted at $668, gave a 15% discount. The client's wife watched in all, and everything glimmed. That's awesome, Beth. That's how you do it. All you do is pressure wash houses? Yes, that's all you do is pressure wash houses. I'm doing awesome. How are you doing, Lee? Yes, that's all we do is pressure wash houses. And you can make that kind of money. Pressure wash houses. And no, we're not just using high pressure. We're soft washing, low pressure cleaning them, doing roof cleans. If you want to learn more, you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/free. You get 30 days free in my membership. And I go over all the equipment, everything like that. The police, did they call you? The police called me about my signs in a certain area, but they were pretty cool and gave me 3 days to pick them up and then go move them into the next neighborhood. How much is the most you made? I did $1 million in 2017. Sold the business in 2018. 2019, the business, I was still running the market, did another $1 million. A one-man band can do. I got a guy in Nowhereville, Indiana, Jeremy Cochran. He does $150,000 a year, puts about 120 in his pocket. Definitely can be done. Beth, did that shop replace your water tank for you? It happens. Just learn the rules on signs and then play the game. Again, you can go check out pressurewashhelp.com/free. You'll get a free month. And if you want to do if you want to do some in-person training, I do have the one up for Orlando. It will be me and Bobby Walker. It's at Bobby Walker's place. He has 3 trucks, and that he actually has 4 trucks running, and so that is why I am doing it there. So we will be able to keep it up. So um, I once got paid 10 pack of Hubba Bubba for a job. Hey, you got to get what you got. You know, them little old ladies will always be like, "Here you go." The best is when you get a tip, because when you get a tip, that means you just didn't charge enough. I guess I don't know. Some people are nice. I had 2 of my biggest jobs this year. One house worked 5 hours for $2,700. Then just finished a 4,200 foot 6 foot privacy fence for apartment complex just to clean for $6,500, 15 hours worth of work. That's pretty nice, Doug. When are you coming to Atlanta, Georgia in the personal training? I don't know. But all right, I will be back Sunday night. I don't know how I'm going to be back. My mom had hip surgery today. They only allow 1 person in the hospital per day, so I didn't get to go. I was in Nashville anyway. I was driving up, and so I have to be a good son and watch her the next 3 days, 3 or 4 days. And so I think I'm going to be able to be back here on Sunday night. If not, I'll be doing it from my mother's house until she gets better. So hope you all have a good weekend. Again, pressurewashhelp.com/free. Get you 30 days. Again, if you're up here in the north, the weather is starting to get a little colder. So make sure you are winterizing this stuff, guys. Make sure you're getting all the water out of it, putting antifreeze in it, or blowing it all out. You do not want your equipment to freeze. If it freezes, it does you no good at the end of the day. So definitely make sure you are winterizing your equipment. If you are not winterizing your equipment, make sure you're putting it into a garage, something like that. The last thing I want you to do is um, last thing I want you to do is I want to make sure that you do not hurt your investment of losing something. So go ahead, and I'll see you on Sunday.